Yo, what's going on, traders? This is a recap for Thursday, August 28th, 2025, and I'm going to show you how I made $8,800 trading the NASDAQ. Like always, here are the accounts I executed the trade on. These are my Lucid funded accounts. We can see I made $530 on 5 of these accounts, and then we can see I made over 6.1K on these other funded accounts here. There's some pretty crazy sales going on right now in the prop firm industry. Funding Ticks is running a 50% off sale. Apex is back with 90% off. Take Profit Trader 40%, no activation fee. And there's a few more. So if you want to get funded with any of these firms, make sure to use code LOOP for the best discount. And with that out of the way, let's get into the review. Here we are on the 4-hour chart for the NASDAQ. After clearing out some of this higher time frame liquidity, prices had a reaction higher. And since then, we have respected some of these discount arrays. We had a 4-hour BISI, which we discussed in the previous recap video. And within this imbalance, we have this 4-hour order block, which has been respected. And during the overnight sessions, we can see that price continued to respect these discount arrays and ended up delivering some more buy side. Let's drop down to the 1-hour time frame. And like always, I'm identifying the higher time frame liquidity and higher time frame key levels. So we already identified the PD rates on the 4-hour. Looking here at the 1-hour chart, we had the buy side that was formed off of NVIDIA ER. This is our data high right here. And then we had some sell side down at 480, and we had some lows down here at 540. I also noticed that we formed this 1-hour BISI overnight and had been respecting it heading into New York AM. Now that we have our higher time frame key levels and liquidity, let's take a look at the 15-minute chart here. And if we zoom in, we can see that data high from yesterday, that buy side that was formed on NVIDIA's ER release. We can see some of the pools of sell side, and we can also see within that 1-hour BISI, we also had formed some 15-minute imbalances. So let's drop down to the 5-minute chart. If we zoom out a little bit here on the 5-minute time frame, we can see that we did have some engineered highs just below that NVIDIA buy side. I noticed some more imbalances that lined up. So there's confluence here on the 5-minute, 15-minute, 1-hour chart. So let's mark out 9:30 open. And let's fast forward a little bit. Right at 9:30 open, we can see that price pumped up and swept that buy side from yesterday that was formed during NVIDIA's ER release. And if we take a look at our 15-minute chart or even our 1-hour time frame, we can see that from the overnight session, we can look at 6 p.m. open rate over here. Price had only had one-way delivery. We were simply just pumping up, delivering buy side. Since we swept the higher time frame liquidity and formed some imbalances and inefficiencies on this up move, I wanted to hunt for shorts, targeting a retracement into this range and towards some of the lower time frame sell side. This is because price is always moving from a discount to a premium, from a premium to a discount. It's happening on every single time frame. It's happening on every single asset. It is always happening to deliver fair value. So here we are on the 1-minute time frame. And with that same analysis, I was able to build the narrative that since price swept this higher time frame liquidity and that we delivered so much in one direction, we can mark this out. Really just from the start of the New York AM session, we pumped up 160 points with no real retracement. This allowed me to anticipate sell side delivery. I don't need to see price sweep all the sell side, sweep all the lows, but I'd at least expect price to rebalance some of the imbalances and inefficiencies that formed on this up move. So NQ formed this 1-minute imbalance. If we take a look at the 5-minute time frame, what I'd also notice if we fast forward a little bit is that we also formed this 5-minute imbalance, which we can mark out here. We'll mark out this 5-minute BISI. And we can see where price is trading at in relation to the imbalance. So I was anticipating this imbalance to be filled in, to be rebalanced, and then for price to potentially seek these equal lows here. Because dropping back down to the lower time frame, we can see how clear and obvious the sell side is here. We had a ton of equal lows that were engineered. We can also look to the left and we can see we had some more sell side. Bunch of little pools of liquidity here. Here on the lower time frame, something that I noticed is that price had formed a bearish change in the state of delivery. We had this up close candle that formed at 9:33 a.m. after buy side was swept. Price then expanded away from it. We displaced through it. This formed a lower time frame CSD. And within the potential order block, we had also formed this lower time frame SIBI here. Before just entering into a short, I wanted to see price reject. If we could get a reaction off of these lower time frame premium rays, I'd look to enter into a short position and target all of these equal lows. As soon as I saw price reject these premium rays, I entered into a short position at 704 and had my stop loss placed just above the swing high of this up close candle. Now you may ask yourself, why is my stop placed here at this high? And why did I not have it at the high that formed the SIBI or the high of the order block? The answer to that is because if the order flow is bearish, the up close candles should be used as resistance. Once price expands away from those up close candles, we want to see them be used as our bearish order blocks. So for this specific trade, I was risking 30 points in order to make 70. And now we can fast forward a little bit. Price delivered really well. And once we dug into that 5-minute imbalance, I locked in some profit for 50 points. I then showed my stop loss to break even and I let the trade run. We'd either see a reaction up off of the 5-minute, 1-minute BISIs, or we'd continue lower and seek these equal lows. Now, if we fast forward a little bit more, we can see that price ended up sweeping those equal lows and we cleared out all that other lower time frame sell side. So this is a real easy, simple trade. Price engages some higher time frame liquidity. And on this up move, we had formed a ton of imbalances and inefficiencies, some lower time frame liquidity that I was anticipating price to seek. The most important thing from this trade was the narrative. It was why price should deliver lower. And the answer to that, my reasoning for it, was that we swept some higher time frame liquidity. And on this up move, which we saw in some of the other time frames, we had really only delivered buy side. We had no real sell side delivery. So I was expecting a retracement. Even if we didn't clear out all these equal lows, I was expecting price to at least rebalance some of these imbalances and inefficiencies. And then after establishing the narrative, it became pretty simple. We had a higher time frame liquidity sweep, so we swept the buy side. We then had a lower time frame change in the state of delivery. Within the CSD, we also formed a lower time frame for value gap, this lower time frame SIBI here. I was looking for a little reaction off of these premium arrays, and as soon as I got it, I entered into a short position with my stop loss just above this up close candle, and then I had my take profit set within this imbalance on the 5-minute and at these equal lows. And because of this trade, I was able to hit the profit requirement needed for a 10K payout at Tradeify. I'm up 3K on each account. My consistency is below 20%. I've traded for 7 days. So I have a total profit of 15K. I'm going to be requesting 10 later tonight, and I'm probably going to do that in a separate video. We can take a look at some of the stats here. So we can see it says request your payout. My account balance is up at 53,000 and I've met all the objectives. That concludes this trade recap. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with all your trading friends. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment so I can answer it. We also got some crazy prop sales going on, so make sure to use code LOOP for the best available discount. So until next time, good luck and good trading.